Welcome. In front of me is an INFINIX Hot 50 Pro, and today I will show you a couple of tweaks and tricks you can do on this device. So to get started, we're gonna open up our settings right over here, and we can start off with the personalization section close to the top, which allows you to basically change a bunch of different things in terms of how the device looks like. So we have things like just straight up themes, which I have none outside of the default one, but if you download more, they should show up here, and we should have the option to download them probably once I would connect to network, which I'm not connected to. Next, we have things like AI wallpaper generator, so you can basically generate whatever wallpapers you want. I assume there is some limitation, and again, a network is needed for that. That's a little bit more obvious though. But still a neat option for just having these wallpapers that would be more custom, number one, and number two, fitting more with the, for instance, theme of your rest of the device. Next, we have static wallpapers. Let's just not talk about that, though, the wallpapers in general. Then if we scroll down a little bit lower, we have customization. Now this includes always on display for the most part. And we have things like just general kind of shapes that can add to the always on display, some kind of words and images. We have clocks, though these are just horrendous. Then we actually have analog clocks, but again, some of them are just kind of still semi-horrendous. You can also see we have additional things visible right here, I think. Oh no, I guess these are just things that you can add, like how many steps you have taken and so on. Anyway, let's move on a little bit further. Now under more, okay, that's the same thing, colors. So here you can customize these colors along with the colors that would be visible on your these setting like icons that are listed. So we have a couple options right here, and you can see how it will affect it. Then you have also static wallpaper colors. So this basically picks these colors that will be visible here and just generally throughout the system based on the wallpaper that you have set right now, which like I said, adds a little bit more kind of customization to your device and makes it more tailored to just what you have already. So in terms of wallpaper, you can pick these colors specifically to match the wallpaper. Anyway, let's move over to display and brightness from the main settings page. And here we have dark and light mode. You can choose whichever one you want. Actually, we'll switch to light mode as I find it to be a little bit more clear on the camera. But outside of just having the light and dark mode, you have the schedule under that, which allows you to set it up so the device will automatically change from light to dark mode and vice versa based on either sunset to sunrise or on a custom timer, or also at bedtime, which you can set what time is bedtime. Then we move further down. We have things like color style. This is just generally a saturation of the display. If you find that the display is a little bit too saturated, which I believe it will be set to this option by default, you can change it to original color, which tries to be a little bit more color accurate compared to the bright one. But all in all, this is more of a personal preference kind of thing. So if you like the more saturated colors, by all means go for that. And then below that we have the screen refresh rate, and here we have several different options. We have 120, 90, 60 and auto switch. Now when it comes down to this option, I will for the most part recommend to stick with the auto switch, which is set by default. But for the selected few people that just don't see much of a difference between 60 and 120, I would probably recommend switching it to 60. Auto switch, basically the way it works is it runs at 120 if I start doing this, for instance, but the moment there's nothing moving on the screen, like, well, right now, it automatically drops down to something like 60 frames to preserve battery life. So it only cranks it up when there is motion happening. When there isn't, it lowers it down to give you best battery life. Obviously, running it permanently at 120 or 90 doesn't give you any kind of benefits outside of the smoothness, but that smoothness is being wasted when there's nothing moving like right now. There is no reason to show 100 frames every second of just fully static image. This could be a photo and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. So obviously this makes no sense. So does 90. So auto switch is basically the kind of best option, as it gives you good battery life by switching to lower refresh rates when you don't need the high one. So that's kind of what I'm recommending right here. But moving on, we should have system navigation right here. Now this is a redirect, which is probably in the system section, but from the display you can quickly navigate to it. And anyway, here we have two different ways of navigating the device. So we have gesture navigation and 3-button navigation. I've been using 3-button navigation right now, so I'm going to switch it to gestures. So once you select it, you have also gesture tutorial and more settings. Under more settings, you can change the sensitivity, which if you start swiping it, it should, never mind, it doesn't show the actual bar. But basically this defines where your finger needs to start the gesture, for instance, from outside to trigger it. The lower sensitivity, the more closer to the edge you will need to start it to actually activate it. Now, another thing right here I personally like to turn off is the voice assistant. By default, you kind of access it like this, I think, right? Yep, there we go. It took me a moment, but yeah, as you can see, it kind of gets pulled out from the side. So if you sometimes try to swipe up, you might activate it. And for me, I don't use voice assistant at all. So this is just completely useless. So I like to turn it off. And now, as you can see, it just always goes home. And the last thing that I wanted to showcase is the sidebar. So you have this kind of grayish bar right here. You can actually pull it out, and it gives you access to a bunch of applications which you can edit, change what is being visible right here. And opening applications from here opens them up in a pop-up view. Also gives you this quick tutorial what you can do. And then you can move it around. You should be able to minimize it, I believe. Oh, that was maximize. Okay, stop. So it is minimized somehow, I'm just not sure how, because this and the button on the other side looks like it's a close button. And here we just have switch. This is utilized for split screening. So grab this. See, nothing happens here. I'm going to check one more function. There we go. So here's one more thing that I can do in regards to split screen in this case. So if I drop it, it will open up this application side by side. And from here I can, for instance, pick something else. So I picked Chrome right here. Let's open up also something like YouTube, which again has no internet, so it won't connect to anything. But there we go. So you can have two different applications running at the same time, meaning, for instance, you can watch YouTube videos while also browsing the web. And this can be quickly launched from here. But in any case, this would conclude the tweaks and tricks that I want to show you. So if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.